Welcome into Snow The Goalie. We are live at Chickie's and Pete's in Marlton. What an absolutely beautiful Chickie's and Pete's, and what a beautiful day. Can we just have a moment? Guys, it is a wonderful Wednesday to be alive. We don't need to talk about last night's game yet. We could just bask in the glow, bask in the glory of a beautiful day of weather, right? Which means, obviously, we're going back to like the 20s tomorrow, right?
Supposed to be some terrible thunderstorms around 4 o'clock, and they never materialized. They're happening later on tonight. So we ended up with an absolutely gorgeous day. A lot of the trees are starting to bloom and blossom.
Yeah, we get a cool
springs here.
We get a cool day tomorrow.
Yes.
And then it warms back up again after that.
Yes, it does.
So it's only one day back in the 50s, and then it's nice again. So it's great. Spring. It's a good time. And before we dive into hockey, Russ, I wanted to bring this up because Bundy would get a kick out of this too. So I've been in a car a lot the last couple days, driving back and forth to Washington.
Yep.
I had a meeting this morning out in Lansdale, and I drove back home, and I had to drive here to Marlton. So I've been in the car a lot. And in order to keep myself sane, I'm not looking for sympathy. In order to keep myself sane, I was like, find different things to listen to. And I just thought to myself, you know, it'd be fun. Let me check out some old episodes of Snow the Goalie. And it's because this happens to be our 300th episode.
Is that right?
Today is the 300th episode.
300 episodes.
Of Snow the Goalie, right?
Thank you. 300 episodes.
And so, like, I go back towards, like, some of the ones we did at the very beginning. This is before you were part of it. It was just me and Russ. And Russ was, like, this real quiet guy. And he would talk like this. Hello, this is Russell Joy.
Yeah, I even went by Russell, too, yeah.
Welcome into Snow the Goalie. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about the Flyers. And it was almost like, you know, what was the painter's name on?
Oh, Bob Ross.
Bob Ross. He was like the Bob Ross of hockey
we're
talk.
Just gonna paint a happy little
look at how we
here.
molded him, man.
Look what he's become.
Yeah.
It's a completely different person. It's a completely different person. So anyway, thanks to Poo Nugs. Poo Nugs with a super chat. Thanks for meeting my daughter and I at the game against the Hawks. You guys are awesome. Happy 300. Thanks, Poo Nugs.
Thanks, Poo Nugs.
Appreciate it. But anyway, if you have some free time and you want a good laugh, go back and check out me and Russ talking hockey in 2018.
Good God. You know, it's funny too because I started uploading old episodes to YouTube. Like, it's always available in the podcast feed, but I started putting up stuff into the YouTube channel. And I was doing them where I was trying to stagger them a little bit. And then at one point I was just like, all right, the hell with that. Like, I'm just going to put 10 up at once. And I got so many DMs from people going, why are you putting all this stuff up right now? And then the best part is when you get somebody, it says in the description of the episode, this episode originally aired on like April 25th, 2018. That's the first thing on the thing. And you get people who are commenting, guys, why are we talking about Wayne Simmons playing? He's been retired for a while. Anyway, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it read.
That's all you can do, right? But anyway, so 300th episode, and
the Flyers are in a similar predicament to where they've been in a lot of years.
The last 299. But look, last night was I was down there in D.C., and I know it was we got to talk about Porter Martone, but let's just dive into the game first. And when you think about the game, guys, everybody in that organization is frustrated today because yet again, like what happened with Columbus, everybody that they needed to lose lost.
Everybody.
Yep. Everyone.
Every game. Everyone.
And if they would have won that game last night, even if it was an overtime or shootout, they would be sitting in a playoff spot right now.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of frustration in that locker room. Danny was not happy. You could tell Talk was a little bit annoyed last night. And it was the two things I think that killed them. And you tell me if you agree, Bundy. The first thing was they were not prepared for Washington to come out and play that physical brand of hockey in the first period. They adjusted to it, and I think that they got better as the game went on. But that first period where it's 2-0 Washington, that's all that the Flyers like trying to wait and react. They figure out how do we play against this team right now.
Yeah.
The secondary thing, and which has been a problem all season, is special teams.
Yeah.
5-on-5, they were fine.
Yep.
Even when they were getting abused a little bit, they were okay. You can't take Travis Konechny takes a penalty in the second period, 200 feet from his own goal.
Yep.
Tripping penalty, can't take it. Trevor Zegras takes a tripping penalty about 140 feet from it, 150 feet from his own goal. Can't take that one. Both of those end up as goals in the back of the net.
Yeah.
That's the game.
That's the difference in the hockey game.
That's the hockey game.
Yeah.
Those two things. Everything else, I think, is okay. It was an okay game otherwise. Those two things are why the Flyers are sitting here still 2 points out of a playoff spot.
Yeah, and you know what's funny? It's one of those games. Like I think I tweeted yesterday that they didn't play bad. In the first period, they didn't have a bad first period. They outshot Washington 12-5.
Yeah,
but Washington is a big heavy hockey team. That's how they really succeeded last year. They pushed teams around a lot. They ended up getting the playoffs, winning around. They've kind of reverted this year back. You know, there's a lot of teams that made the playoffs last year that are not going to make the playoffs this year. So, and Washington will probably be one of those teams unless they go on a crazy run here to finish off the schedule. But I thought the Flyers played fine in the first period in terms of the shots on goal and opportunities, but they got bullied in that first period.
Tom Wilson was a difference maker.
He was.
Like a total difference maker, right? I know people hate him. By the way, 900 games for him.
Yeah, I know.
Wow.
Crazy, huh?
I remember watching him in London when I was doing a story on Anthony Stolarz.
Yep. Yeah.
Like Tom Wilson was, and now all of a sudden he's played 900 games in the league.
Yeah.
Holy smokes, that happened fast. But the NHL debut last night, Russ.
Young Porter Martone.
First of all, let me say this. The most polished 19-year-old I've ever talked to.
Really?
Yeah, he's pretty good, isn't he? Like that? Like he really is well-spoken.
Like unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you should remember this from when we did the dev camp interview, right?
Yep.
But even like right after a game, like this was his NHL debut, and he was just spot on with his answers. Like I'm sitting there going, I don't care if this kid ever, well, I shouldn't say it that way because everybody cares that he pans out, right? But I mean, even if he's not a superstar, like he's so together.
It's a diametric opposite. It is diametrically different from dealing with Nolan Patrick.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Like wildly different.
The complete opposite end of the spectrum.
Yes.
100%. Like so, like that's like that's just something that you can't translate that to the on ice hockey, but it's very noticeable and it's a very good trait for him to have, and it makes you think that if he's that way off the ice, that he's got some really good IQ on the ice.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, a lot of that translates. But, his dad was a pro.
Yeah.
His dad, Mike Martone.
Yeah.
He was in Philadelphia, I think, when I was here for a year.
Yeah?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure, but the name rung a bell when I heard it was Porter Martone's dad. He speaks really, really well to the media. He's very, very thoughtful of the media. When they ask a question, he thinks through the answer. I thought he had a really good debut last night. The first two periods was quiet, but the more that he got comfortable on the ice, the third period, I thought he really, really stepped into another zone and looked really good in that situation.
Yeah, that's why I think it was brilliant that they played him last night instead of waiting until Thursday. Like, I know that there was kind of that back and forth about what they would do. And to me, it's like you want to get a guy like that, put him on the road. That's fine. Get that first pro game out of the way. Get the jitters out of the way. Get that experience of having to mentally prep yourself, get a lot of that adrenaline rush of your first game out of your system, regardless of how the game goes, so that when you do make your home debut on Thursday, you no longer go into it thinking, oh, God, I don't know what it is to be a pro. You go into it now knowing, at least to some extent, what that preparation is like, and now mentally you approach it as a pro, not as a college kid getting ready to play his first pro game.
Yeah, you're right. And so, I was at the morning skate, and I asked Rick Tocchet about it, and he said, yeah, you know what? We sat around the table, and there was a good debate about it. Like there were people who were in the organization on both sides. Should they play him last night or should they wait until Thursday and have him debut at home against Detroit? And ultimately, the rationale for playing him was this kid's already played in big games in his career.
Mm-hmm.
Captain of Team Canada for World Junior.
Yeah.
Played in the NCAA tournament with Michigan State. Like he's played big games.
Yep.
He played world champs last year.
Did. Yep.
Right. With Team Canada. And the fact that he had been playing he didn't need to kind of, ramp up. Like it's not like he'd been sitting around for a while. They just said all those things are benefits. Let's just put him out there. Yep. Plus, Washington's a big team. He's a big kid.
Yeah.
Right? He likes to play that kind of style. He's not going to shy away from contact. So ultimately, those were the decisions that won out as to why they put him in the lineup.
His impact on the game, to Bundy's point, really did feel like it increased as the game went on.
Yeah.
There was a moment in this game, I think it was in the second period, right? Michkov is behind the net, and he finds him on that feed.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're just like ever so slightly away from him potting one. It felt like he had no fewer than 4 or 5 opportunities last night in front of net. And you got to imagine that over the course of time, if what he was able to do, especially in college this year in that area, he's going to start potting those goals.
Yeah.
Awesome to see him as a net front presence, that big body. And and despite the fact that he's such a young dude, and he's certainly not fully filled out yet on that frame, he's willing to go to the dirty areas and get the job done. It does start to make you think about all of the good that could come from him on this team. They have nobody like him on this squad as currently constructed. So I look at it, I know that there were some people who, probably set sky-high expectations. Well, he's got to score tonight. Got to get on the score sheet tonight. No. Let him go out. Let him play his game. Don't put too much pressure on him. Put him in advantageous positions. They did that last night. I mean, I think as a coaching staff, as a team, they put him in positions to be successful. The results in the score sheet weren't there. But I got to think that between now and the end of the year, he's gonna pot a few.
He had opportunities last night.
Yeah.
I mean, the one from Michkov was a really good one, the pass from him. What was really impressive in the third period, Bundy? I don't know if you saw this shift. He's on the ice. I want to say this was about, 5 minutes into the third period.
Okay.
They're in the offensive end. He's right in front of the net. Jams away, has a chance right in front. Saves. Logan Thompson makes a save. Capitals break out the other way. He hustles back all 200 feet, reaches out because of his size, reaches out his length, and pokes away a puck before there's a glorious chance right on the doorstep. So breaks up an opportunity. Turns right around, goes another 200 feet back the other way, gets another scoring chance from right in front of the net.
Yep.
He's playing the length of the ice.
Yeah.
Non-side, just skating.
Yeah.
And that's a sign. This is your first game in the NHL.
Yeah.
What is right? Like that should tell you
He's
a little
got
bit
some
of
awareness out there.
Right?
What
Tells you
his
something.
job is. Yeah, it's not just one-way traffic. It's got to be both ends of the ice, and he seems to have a good handle. A lot of work left for him to do.
Oh, sure.
But he has very, very good positionally sound last night, I thought, in that hockey game.
Yeah. I mean, look, there's no question. We're going to look at a weakness. It's still his skating.
It is.
But because of his size, and you being a big guy like that, maybe you can attest to this. Like, even if you're not the greatest skater, you stride long enough that it actually moves you, propels you a little bit more down the ice.
Yeah.
Right? Like when you see Michkov struggling, it's almost like he's running in place. Right?
Yeah.
Whereas you look at Martone, you go, okay, he's not the fastest guy, but he's getting there.
He gets there. Yeah.
Right? That's the difference, right?
Yeah.
So that's how I see it.
Now, Martone had a good night. I think we'd all agree that is about on par, maybe a little bit ahead of what you would hope and expect from a kid coming in that situation.
Yeah.
By the way, without ever having practice. Well, he did.
Yeah, well,
he had half a practice, but realistically didn't have much of a ramp up to get there, right? Can we talk about some of the guys who last night I think kind of underwhelmed? Is that fair? Like, one guy that seems like is catching a lot of heat. So you go into that game last night, it's going to be physical, right? And you and I actually talked about this before the show, but like I was kind of shocked that Emil Andre was in the lineup, especially knowing that this Washington team is going to try to put you through the boards each and every time, right? They're going to finish their checks. They're going to make your life a living hell. I was surprised Andre was in. But it's another defenseman who I think kind of came up small. And there was a moment in this game that stands out blatantly. Cam York, I don't think, had a great game last night.
He did not.
And there was a moment in this game, I forget when it was, he's on the left side. He's got a wide open, I mean, like you could drive a semi through it. Gap to the far post. Michkov is there. I'm not saying that it's something that he's going to do every time, but like a confident player who's got his head on the right way makes that pass, sets up Michkov for maybe a goal, maybe at least a good opportunity. And instead he kind of hangs on to it. And the reason that the clip went viral is because somebody, presumably at ice level, once the puck goes the other way, yells at Cam York, "What the bleep are you doing?" Last night was like very underwhelming. York's not exactly the most physical guy. I kind of expect more. I do.
He had a rough night last night. I thought he did. It wasn't his best game, that's for sure. And they need their top four. Like they gave up. What was the final score last night? 6-4. Yeah, 6-4. I mean, that's too many goals to give up, even with the empty netter. They got to bear down better like that. And I don't think Vladar had his best night last night either.
He didn't. I'd say there's probably 2 of the 5 goals that he allowed he'd probably look at and say, yeah, I should make that save.
Right. Yeah.
But it's hard to kill Vladar.
Oh, you never do. I mean, he's been so good all year. Yeah.
Right? Like, because of what he's done. Although it does beg a question. With as well as Erson's played the last 5 starts, do you, not to say that you would shift them.
Do it.
No. Listen to me, Russ.
Yeah, I hear you.
Do you kind of alternate them now over the last 8 games?
Well, you have to beginning tomorrow and Friday anyway.
Right.
So
they got to play back.
They got to play back to back. Yeah.
Right. And you have another back to back at the end.
Yeah.
Right. With Carolina and Montreal at home. I don't know. Do you give Erson one other start besides those 2?
Maybe.
Depends on the situation.
I don't think you can be a prisoner of the moment. Like, if you look at Erson's stats between January and now, it's almost 3 entire goals lower, right? Between where he was when he had 7 starts in January versus 4 this month. He's done yeoman's work. He's done an admirable job. Stick taps above the table to Sam Ersson for getting his game back on track, especially post-Olympic break. I tend to think that you ride who got you there. And Vladar had a bad night last night. If it were to happen again, then I think it's a conversation.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't go with the panic move of saying, well, Ersson's been hot now. Now we've got to I think he needs to get a net, sure. I'm not changing what's gotten you to this point, to having legitimate contention for a playoff spot.
It's interesting. It's an interesting question. I did want to, Andrew had this up on the screen, but it's no longer on the screen, but I did. There it is. Thanks. This is a super chat from Scotty's Wild Adventures. Thanks, Scotty, for the super chat. He's asking us, which Flyers jersey do we think sells more units long-term? Mishkov at 39 or Martone 94?
I'm going to say Martone. I think he's going to become a kind of a favorite in this town.
I think he's a future captain.
Yeah, I agree.
And because of that, I say that's the answer.
Yeah, I think it's Martone.
Yeah.
I tend to think so too.
Yeah.
I think Martone's going to outsell. Now,
maybe not in the near term.
But here is the one thing that I do think really does move the needle for Martone. He's going to be more relatable while the language barrier with Michkov is the thing. You can like a player, you can believe in a player, you could want to buy that guy's sweater, you could do that. But I think people are going to connect a little bit better with Martone because there's no language barrier. I really do.
That's true. That is true. And that's not Mishkov's fault.
No.
It's just the way it is.
Did we have a super chat from Fawcett?
He says that we did. Did intern not bring it up? All right, here you go. No, it did come up before. He said, found you guys when the Hextall chaos was revealed.
Ah, yes.
Fawcett, thank you.
That was all Russ's fault.
What was my fault?
I told you I can't talk about it, and then you asked me about it on the air.
Yeah, well, I knew it was going to do numbers, and it did numbers. Somebody's got to have a business sense around here. Come on now. What are we doing?
So, anyway.
Do we know what body fat percentage Martone showed up? I'm just kidding.
Stop.
I'm just kidding.
Stop.
Just kidding.
Look good because he's in shape.
But Bundy, I think they said he was at didn't they say at some point he was single digits? It was low single digit body fat at some point. But he said he put on, I think, roughly 20 pounds, 15, 20 pounds from the start of the college season
15 pounds
to where he was now.
Yeah.
Bundy, in an ideal scenario, in the next year or two, as he's filling out, how much do you think he does need to put on to make the most of that frame?
It depends, really. I probably get to 220. I think would be the number. He
that's about right for 6'4", right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting thing with how he ended up putting that weight on in college. Remember, you're only playing 2 games a weekend. All you're doing all week is working out and practicing.
Yeah.
So there's an opportunity for there that you would not have had he played in the NHL to put on 15 pounds of weight in a full season this year. So the development process, the way that he went through Michigan State, that's why the Flyers were so happy with Michigan State, because he checked every box that you wanted him to check when he went there. Played great hockey, dominated the season, found his game at a high level, world junior captain, and then that gave him an opportunity also to build his body through the year at Michigan State.
When a guy over the course of an NHL season loses a lot of weight, and obviously when you look at these guys with the pads off, they look significantly smaller than they do at the beginning of the season. How much of that is fat loss and how much of it is muscle loss?
A lot of it's muscle loss. You try to do maintenance stuff through the year, but sometimes it's just hard. You can't even get a practice in sometimes.
Yeah.
This time of year, there's no practice today. for the team. So it's too hard. So I mean, you get a lift in, but then it's hard to get guys to put a lift in too because you're recovering for the next game, which is tomorrow night.
I was going to ask, is that the big thing? Is that guys just don't do the lifting as much in part to there not being
they do a maintenance. There's a maintenance lift that they'll do once or twice a week.
Yeah, but you're not doing what you would do in the offseason.
No way, no.
And that's because of fatigue, and that's because and there's no time.
That's correct.
Andrew, can you put up our buddy Greg Bondarenko's comment?
You can pull it up. You have the ability to click.
Yeah, but I don't. I know I do, but I don't want to. Every time I do, and he's putting stuff up there, we always cancel each other. So I just ask him, right? So Greg Bondarenko says, "I'm multitasking, listening to Snow the Goalie. Thank you very much, and watching the Artemis launch." The funny thing is, we're sitting here at the great Chickies and Pete's in Marlton, New Jersey, right? And all the Chickies and Pete's are great, but if you're going to rank them of the top 7 of the 17 Chickies and Pete's in the area, number 1 right here, right? I mean,
I think
it
so.
is beautiful, and it's great today because they got the all the windows open and the outdoor patio going outside. It's just awesome in here. And the GM comes over to us right before we start the show, and he goes, "Hey, do you guys mind if for like 5 minutes, like we take the audio out of the system so that people can watch the Artemis launch?" So
I think we should actually do a hybrid.
In like
can
9
we,
minutes,
can we announce the Artemis launch?
In like 9 minutes, the Artemis launch will go off, and there will be some background noise here at Chickies and Pete's. So I thought I'd point that out. Right?
Yes, people yelling in the background.
Yeah,
isn't them yelling at one of our takes being either good or particularly bad?
So where's Artemis going, to the moon?
Around the moon, right?
I thought they were landing on the moon.
I thought they were landing on the moon.
I think this whole thing is fake news. Well, I don't care if you do a lap around the moon. Land on the moon.
They just want to
walk around,
do some testing,
plant a flag,
and then the next one will land on the moon.
Get out the driver and whack one towards Mars.
Yeah.
See how long the golf ball takes to get there.
There you go. There you go.
I don't need to do a lap around the moon. What's the point? Why?
Yeah.
Apparently, it's a tune-up mission for when they land.
Yeah. Poonugs.
Why?
It says the next mission is landing on the moon.
Yeah. Well, you know what? When I took my family down to the National Aquarium in Baltimore a couple weekends ago, I just went to the aquarium. All right. I didn't drive down to Baltimore and say, "All right, kids, well, that was fun," and then come right back home. No, I didn't need to go do like a cursory drive.
You mean this wasn't Big Ben Parliament? Big Ben Parliament?
Unbelievable.
Do you even know what that reference is?
No, I have no idea.
You know what that reference is?
Yeah, that's European vacation.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's well past Russ's.
Yeah, I know. It's just went right over his head.
No clue.
Went right over his head.
No, I was thinking of Parliament, and then I was thinking of the videos coming out of Canada this week.
Yes.
The NDP.
Yes.
Can I play my privilege card here as a non-former player? Can I do that really quickly?
There you go. Well, I brought up Chickies and Pete's because we are at Chickies and Pete's as we are every Wednesday. Next Wednesday we will be in Drexel Hill, my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a bit since we've been there.
Good.
We go back there next week for what if the Flyers don't make the playoffs?
It's the penultimate.
It will be the penultimate
regular season
show for us at Chickies and Pete's.
And then the following week we are in Warminster.
Warrington.
Warrington. Same thing to me. Warrington.
They're two different places, Russell.
They have too many names that are too close.
Yeah.
Warrington.
So those are the two that are on the schedule for now. There potentially could be more if things go well for the Flyers. But it's just a reminder that there are 17 Chickies and Pete's locations in the Philadelphia area. You could definitely check it out. Get anything off of their menu. I had the crab cake tonight. Billy from South Philly is here, and he's the first time he had
the sweets,
right? The crabby sweets. And he was a fan.
Yeah, is he?
He's a fan.
Got him sold on him?
Got him sold
Good
on
stuff.
Yeah, got him sold on the crabby sweets. But all their food is fantastic. So make sure you check them out and also visit them at one of 2 locations at the I almost said Wells Fargo Center, guys, but at
Xfinity Mobile Arena.
The Xfinity Mobile Arena, which is either in the East Food Hall or the Southeast entrance in front of Section 103.
Somebody said there's a Chickies in Vegas. Is that a thing?
Yeah, are you serious?
That's what Philly Vegas says.
Really?
You would assume that Philly Vegas came from Philly, now lives in Vegas, and says there's a Chickies and Pete's in Vegas, Bundy.
I'll have to take a look at that.
You gonna look that up?
I didn't know
We're
that.
doing a little bit of fact checking in real time.
I have to check that out. All right, before Artemis launches here in 6 minutes, why don't we do our regular bit, which is the Payroll Service Solutions Player of the Week.
There is a Chickies and Pete's in Las Vegas.
We're at
2535 South Las Vegas Boulevard, right on the Strip.
I'm going to Vegas in a couple of months.
There
so
you
when
go.
when I do, I'll go take a picture outside.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
I had no idea. Maybe they'll send us there for the draft.
For the draft? Is the draft in Vegas this year?
No.
Oh, just send us there anyway. We'll go pull random hockey fans off the
random
street,
hockey fans
off the strip.
Chickies and Pete's. Anyway, Payroll Service Solutions Player of the Week brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today, 1-866-PAY-EASY. That's 1-866-PAY-EASY. I'm going to go third week in a row. I'm going to try. I've failed 2 weeks straight. Been the runner-up 2 weeks in a row. I'm going to go for a third time. Owen Tippett for the past week.
Yeah, I think I'm actually, I was thinking about it today, and I was having a hard time putting it together, but I really feel like it's Owen Tippett again.
Right?
I mean, he's just been that good. Collecting points. I mean, he had the hat trick. Did he have a hat trick prior to last Wednesday or after Wednesday?
That was in the game against
Detroit, right?
Detroit.
Yeah, that was last Thursday.
Last Thursday, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so Owen Tippett is my my player of the week.
Mine too.
You're going to go different, or are you going to make it unanimous?
So I occasionally am accused of playing devil's advocate.
Accused?
Sometimes
Accused
going against the grain intentionally.
Accused is a fun word.
This is not one of those cases. Like, I have an actual case to make. Owen Tippett is a player of the week. Undoubtedly.
Okay.
He is. 100%. If you look at his splits, month over month over month, right?
Yeah.
So in the month of March, Flyers played 15 games. They also did that in January, December, and 14 in November, and 10 in October. If you look at his goal production, and you think about the amount of times that he's taken over a game, the month of March is the month that he had the most goals. 8 goals, right, including that hat trick.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it goes beyond the goals. And we can talk about the play at the end of the game last night that he tried to make that ultimately led to the empty netter the other way. But to me, it's not just Owen Tippett is rushing down the ice and slapping something past the goalie. This is a guy who right now looks as confident as he's ever looked. And it's a guy who's able to now create his own shot. And there's this level of playmaking to him that I don't think we've really seen before. I think pretty definitively he's been their best forward for the better part of 2 months now. There have been moments where you maybe say Noah Cates has had some really good run.
Yeah.
But I think it's Tippett. And if right now, if I were Travis Konechny or if I were Matvei Michkov, I'd be thanking Owen Tippett because his production has taken a little bit of heat off of some of their lack of productivity on the goal scoring side. So Tippett, congrats.
So it happened. We did it.
We did it.
3 weeks it took for Owen Tippett to be named the Payroll Service Solutions Player of the Week, brought to you by Payroll Service Solutions. Call them today, 1-866-PAY-EASY for the smart choice. Payroll Services. Payroll Service Solutions caters to the small and medium-sized business, not the large-sized business, but the small and medium-sized business.
Keep your large businesses to yourself.
Keep your large businesses out of here. They handle all of your payroll needs. So call them today, 1-866-PAY-EASY. Guys, news today.
If you have a large business, by the way, maybe you can get somebody from the baseball organization to get rid of, I don't know, like something commemorating the greatest announcer of all time and take that corporate money.
I'm sure you had a meltdown about that on the Russ Joy show, right?
It's just a disgrace.
It's not a disgrace. It's so stupid. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Like, it's the dumbest thing. Everybody having a meltdown about the name on a stadium.
Carry the K's, man.
Come on.
I'm telling you, man. Pay that lady her money.
Let's have that nostalgic thing, but in lieu of a good baseball team. Come on. Stop.
Oh, I didn't realize. I didn't realize they sent John Middleton to the poorhouse.
Yeah.
He needs that ghost energy money
It's not that.
to pay for his players.
I don't even want to get into it, but because we're on a hockey show, but
yeah,
you do realize that once the RSN disappears, they lose a lot of money.
Well, that would never happen. It'll never.
That's when they'll lose the money, and they're preparing for that. So that's what it comes down to. Anyway, there was news today, guys.
Breaking news there.
Big news today. Flyers signed David Jiricek.
Yeah, I saw that.
To a 2-year contract extension, average annual value of $1.5 million. I didn't see the breakdown on it, so I don't know if it's exactly 1.5 each year or if it's like $1 million the first year, $2 million the second year. But that's telling you that they've seen enough out of him so far to say, oh yeah, we like what we got here.
Yeah,
we're going to give this one a shot.
Yeah. I wonder if he'll see any games before the end of the year.
I think that
I hope so.
Somebody asked that question, right? And I think he will, but I also think that right now they're waiting because of how close they are.
Yeah, I agree.
Right? I think it's one of those situations where if they fall out of it and he needs to get they'll give him a couple games.
Yeah.
But the one thing that you noticed, when you talked about Cam York having a bad game, you mentioned Emil Andre being in the lineup, a little bit of a surprise. The scratches were sitting right behind me last night, and Noah Juleson was really into the game. I mean, he was loud and into the game up there. And but I think he was still a little banged up. I think that they're just so they didn't have much of a choice there. Yeah, I mean, you know that they're a little bit small against a team, a playoff caliber team, or I should say that against a team that plays a style that's prominent in the postseason.
Yeah.
Right?
With Washington, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yurachek isn't exactly known as being this bruiser, though, either. Though, like he's a bigger guy, he's a bigger body.
But it's a bigger body, right?
But if anybody looks at that and says that means that he's a physical defenseman, that's a misnomer.
No. But and this is where I'll have Bundy weigh in on this. Just because you don't play, you're not out there doing what Tom Wilson does and banging bodies and whatever. Because of his size, you could still just wear down guys.
Yes.
Just by leaning on them.
Just
right?
lean on them. Yeah. Just be hard to play against. You don't have to run guys through the boards anymore. You can just wear guys out playing hard along the boards, making quick plays, making them have to come back into traffic every single time.
Right.
That's what having the size advantage really means nowadays.
Right. It's not all about the physicality.
No, I mean, you're going to see Tom Wilson's going to run guys because
Sure.
he's a forward. He's got more of a head of steam than he does. It's hard for defensemen nowadays to really run a guy.
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah.
You got to catch him open ice.
Open ice hit where there's nobody that's sneaking behind you for a loose puck.
Right.
It's got to be perfect timing.
Yeah, for sure.
I 1,000% would give Yurachek a look up here. And you have to remember, they can't send him back down without clearing waivers. So if he's up, and he stays up.
Right.
I look at him as a guy who could maybe help you on the power play a little bit. And that to me is the thing that is certainly worth experimenting with. You put him on the third pair, you give him a little bit of power play time and see if that helps.
You can do that. You could do that when the games don't matter too, Russ.
You could.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's not something that, oh my God, it's going to make a difference right now. Like you can still wait a few games before you go. And they're still trying to have the Phantoms make the playoffs too. Keep that in mind as well. You don't want to completely strip that team bare. Although they're struggling. They've missed Alex Bump and Denver Barkey a lot, I think. So that hurts. Speaking of
and Bjarnason got sent down to the ECHL as well.
Well, they wanted to play.
Just saying, that was something that I think ideally for them they would have liked to have had him as one of those goalies going on that playoff run.
They probably still wouldn't have made him the number one guy.
No,
I still think it would have been Kolosov would have been the number one guy.
Are they in the playoffs right now?
I don't know where they're at.
Yeah, I don't know either. I haven't looked at it.
They were struggling. They were battling. I don't know if they got back into a spot yet or not. And they also, the AHL playoff system is weird. It's like one division takes more teams than another division.
Right.
Because of the proximity.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So you got to just take a look at the standings. It's theahl.com if you're looking for it. Right?
I got it.
Russell.
There we go.
Yeah. You passed them. They're up the first top division.
I was looking to see.
Yeah, they're not right now. They're just missing right now.
Missing the playoffs altogether.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They're what's Toronto?
They're 12th in the conference.
No, but it's not. It doesn't matter. It's by division.
Okay.
So go to the division.
Yeah.
They're what are they behind Springfield? How many points? Oh, they're tied. Oh, they're tied.
Yeah, they're tied on points.
But Springfield's got the tiebreaker right now. So
they have a game in hand.
Yeah. So they're not. Yeah, they're not in at the moment. So anyway, speaking of the defenseman, though, last night,
you gonna do it? You're gonna do it.
Your boy,
playoff Risto, baby. Come on now. Had himself a heck of a game last night.
He was the best player on the ice. Yeah,
he was really good.
He was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, the goal by Denver Barkey, it's all Risto. I mean, Barkey gets the tip, right? It's tip drill.
Risto hangs on to it.
But the play that he made, he goes and gets the puck, is looking, drifts back to the blue line, has the awareness to know that he's running out of room, and then gets the shot off. He's waiting for his forwards to get in front, gets the shot off at a spot that it can be tipped, and Barkey just gets his tip. It was all Risto.
Yeah.
Then he draws a penalty at the end of the game.
Yep.
Like I think he played like 24 minutes, I want to say. Like he was really, really good.
Yeah, he had a great game last night. Yeah, very noticeable.
This is
Carrying the mail up the ice, too.
This is 2 months
Yeah.
of this now. Go back to the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Like the start of February, and then now we're in the beginning of April. It's 2 months that he's been playing a different brand of hockey.
Yep. Yep.
So, Russ is doing the liftoff thing.
Well, we're doing both. See, we're multitasking.
Yeah, but that's not. Is that actually it?
Yeah, we're men of the people right now. This is the official NASA feed.
Okay. I was going to say
the NASA feed's ahead of the TV one.
The TV feed here that they have in the bars.
Artemis has officially lifted off. We are. This is the beauty of checking in with Snow the Goalie. We've got both things going right now. We are the ultimate multi-view experience.
1.7 million people watching that on.
And that's just on the NASA feed.
On the NASA feed.
Is that right? Huh?
Yeah. That's on the NASA feed only.
Yeah.
And you think about it. I mean, it is a cool moment, guys. We've never done history like this together.
Oh,
they got the rocket sounds and the and Chickies and
they were a little late.
No, they were a little late. So they're all right. So
a little late.
I'll tell you what, man. When I look at a rocket ship like that, man, I'm thinking of a guy like Rasmus Ristolainen, man.
Is that your John Gruden?
I'm telling you, man.
Is that your John Gruden?
He's been taking off. He's been going up, up, up. It's his moment, man. I'm telling you, he's golden, golden guy.
Well, so that's a good question because we talked a lot about Risto leading up to the trade deadline, and I haven't had a conversation with anyone since the deadline about him. So what I'm about to say is just purely me throwing it out there for conversation. But I was under the impression at the deadline that if they didn't trade him, that they could potentially do it, in the off season, and still try and get what they want to get. If not, you settle for the first round pick at that point. But does the way he's played in the last 2 months and the way that this team is playing, and you see they're getting closer and closer. If you're Danny Briere, do you consider saying, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to hold on to him, bring him into next season?
Who, Risto?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, where are you going to unless you have to package him to try to get something that you feel like you really need.
Yeah.
So his play has been so good that you might be able to put together a package in the summer.
Right.
But if not, I don't see any problem keeping him either. Like, he's played well enough where you could say, hey, he's been a real factor for us on defense. Let's just keep him around. And he's working well with Sanheim right now.
Yes.
What do you think?
I think it's really tough because I do think that at this point you really could become a prisoner of the moment. I have a hard time looking back at his play the last 2 years and looking at the injuries and then saying to myself, I'm good with them running this back. He's played really well. I do at some point encourage the Flyers
did something just happen?
I think it was good. I think that was separation of the whatchamacallits from the main part of the rocket.
There was an audible sound here. That's why.
I feel like we're actually in the moment. You can
feel like we're at Nassau right now.
I do too.
Yeah.
I'll tell you.
Anyway,
Artemis has separated its fuel.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Russ, on being a prisoner of the moment.
I think he's played incredibly well. I think this is the best kind of Risto you're going to get. The question is, age-wise, timeline-wise, and based on past precedent, I would say now is the best time. If he closes out the year, stays healthy, I 100% am looking to go back to the GMs who maybe didn't want to give you what you wanted before and say, there's the guy. That's the guy you missed out on in your playoff run.
Yeah.
That's the guy that you could have had.
So here's where I'm torn because I'm with you on that. And this is what I've been saying and why, people yelled at me about it. But I oh, you're a shill. You're just telling what the team wants you to say. You can still get what Danny thinks he's worth this summer, especially if he's playing the way he's playing. Right. I mean, his value is going up. But I'm torn because I look at it and say, you need that size on your blue line, and if you think you can be that a playoff team, even if whether you make it this year or not, but you look at 26-27 and go, that's a year for us. We're going to be a good team. We're going to be a contender that next year in some capacity. Maybe not a Stanley Cup contender. We think we're certainly a playoff team.
Yeah,
and we can make some noise. Then that's a guy I would like playing for me.
Yeah, yeah.
So I could see it both ways, and I'm not sure what the best answer. I think ultimately the best answer might be this. What else can he get done before he makes that trade? Can I improve the team enough that it makes sense to hold on to him? Or can I find his replacement and I get something for him? Like, one of those two things happen? And if one of those two things happen, then I think that you can look at it and go, okay, all right, now we can move on from Rasmus Ristolainen. Otherwise, you probably hold on to him.
I think you're probably right.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm listening. There you go. It sounds like everything is all good on Artemis. That's very cool.
That's awesome.
Hey, we did a little bit of history here, guys. We on the you know what, for the 300th episode, NASA decided to send a rocket ship with people into space.
That's right.
You know, some people, some would have just gotten us balloons, maybe flowers. And
we should have. You know what we should have done?
Slice of cake.
You know what we should have done is we should have sent like a Snow the Goalie decal for them to put on the side of the rocket.
What could possibly go wrong with having an extra sticker on the outside? Yeah, nothing bad would happen there.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys call them decals here. They call them decals in Canada.
Did
really?
They,
yeah, they do.
Are
yeah.
you serious?
Yeah, that's why Canada should just stop.
They call them decals?
Yeah.
Canada's got to calm down.
Forever and ever.
Decals?
It's like Z and Z.
Yeah, that
I hate. Oh, Zed
one
makes me angry.
That's weird.
Zed actually does.
But I never heard decal. How about that? That's weird.
Decal. Okay.
That's definitely a weird one.
So what you're saying is, though, to recap,
yeah,
you are all in on them potentially keeping Risto. You think it's a good call?
I don't think it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
I think he's been fine. If he continues playing like this, you don't have to move him. He's valuable enough to your team playing the way he's playing right now.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's to me, I can side either way on this. Like I could see Danny getting a 1+ for Risto, and I can also see the reasoning for keeping him. Like I'm kind of torn on it.
Okay.
So
it is interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you doing over there?
Nothing. Don't worry about it.
I love when you get into the middle of doing we're having a conversation.
There are three of us on the panel. I don't have to be part of it. You guys can talk about something.
You're just
I'm working on something else.
You're just here to work on something else, right?
Well, no, it's something for the show,
and collect a check
while
Bundy and I talk
for the show.
I mean,
it's something for the show.
You ask some people.
Yeah, Mr. I have to write my story for the Associated Press.
If you ask some people will say, Ant and Bundy, they know a lot about what's going on with the Flyers. Russ, he's just entertaining.
And you know what? Sometimes you just need a guy who's entertaining every once in a while to, right the ship.
Not if the head coach said something like that.
That'd be crazy.
Could you imagine if the head coach said that?
Nah.
If the head coach said that? That would be something.
That would be something. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
So Risto, he's played really well. I said Cam York, not so great. I want to ask you guys about Michkov and Konechny, though, because my simple read on this is if you're going to make that run to the playoffs and you're going to have a legitimate chance, one or both of those guys is going to have to start contributing. And I don't want this to become, because it feels like every time I say, hey, I really need Travis Konechny to score goals that matter. He had one the other night.
Yeah,
right?
he had one in the game.
He had a good one where he's kind of diving out and you give him credit. But he gets a lot of opportunities in games, right? He gets breakaways. He gets 2-on-1 opportunities. Doesn't convert on them very much. In my mind, those guys have to contribute in some meaningful way. I don't think they have enough goal-scoring talent as currently constructed to make the playoffs.
They don't.
If those guys aren't getting on the
They don't have enough goal-scoring talent, period, right? I mean, we're being honest about it. They just don't. See, Konechny's a guy that, to me, I equate to, and this is a comparison, I'm going to make a baseball comparison for you. He's the Flyers version of Trey Turner. Right?
Uh-huh.
Good player. At the end of the year, gives you good stats when you go back and look at it. Say, okay, had a decent season, right? If you don't look at it in blocks of games, you look at it in the whole, in the totality. Go, had a good season. But because he is your your highest paid guy, there's a different expectation, and so therefore, if he's not living up to what that expectation is, he seems more underwhelming.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that that's exactly what Konechny is. He had a stretch earlier this month where he went 1, 2, 3, 4 games without a point. Right. Yep. But if you go back since the start of that of the great stretch after the Olympic break. 14 games, 11 points.
Not bad.
It's not terrible. It's not.
It's not
Plus
terrible.
4.
It's just,
Yeah.
I will stand resolute in the belief that the expectation on him, whether it's fair or not, is some more goals.
And that's what it is.
He does get assists, and he does score some goals. I'm not trying to make it sound like he's got like 12 on the year.
26.
Like he could very well score 30.
Yeah.
But it almost feels like, you compare it to Trey Turner. To me, it's almost like Bobby Abreu. And it's
Abreu was a good player on a bad team.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
but I'm saying
Konecny's had a lot of years of being a good player on a bad team.
Correct. And that's
which is why I think it might actually be a slightly more apt comparison. But still, you would get to the end of the year and you go, yeah, I mean, I know Bobby Abreu had really good at bats. I know he had a bunch of home runs. He still had a bunch of bases, but like, did it lead to a lot of wins? Anyway, all this is just to say, if those guys aren't going to be the ones to contribute, then you need to break glass in case of emergency. And that actually does lead us to a guy that we talked about the other day. Could he return? Does he want to return too early? Do the doctors have to get in the way? I mean, Tyson Foerster was out on the ice in the black
a couple
sweater or
times
whatever,
now, more than once. Yeah.
And they, by the way, they put out the pictures of them going down, taking the subway or whatever, or taking the train down to DC.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you noticed, but they put out 3 pictures. One was Porter Martone. I think it was the second picture. Tyson Foerster is one of the guys in the image. Now, I'm not saying that social media, interns or the people who get paid to do social are looking at it going, hey, Easter egg for Flyers fans paying attention. But that to me is almost like a very clear kind of acknowledgement. Yes, this dude's out there. Maybe it's not saying he's going to be playing, but I mean, he's very much with the team.
I'm going to stick my neck out.
Ooh.
I'm going to stick my neck out, Bundy.
Okay.
Tyson Foerster will play games this season.
Okay.
How many? More than one?
More than one.
Okay.
More than one.
Okay. That'd be great.
In the regular season?
Yes.
Yes.
What are they waiting for if he's out of the injury jersey?
Well, here's another thing I can tell you. He's been taking contact for longer than people think.
Right.
I think he's been taking contact for a week or so at this point. It might not be in front of the media. He might be doing some stuff on the side, just kind of working separately, but he's been taking some contact.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that they're just trying to get him back into game shape. Now, I don't want anybody to think that Tyson Foerster's return is solely built around a playoff pursuit. Because my prediction, my sticking my neck out and saying he's going to play, is either way. Let's say the Flyers lose the next 3 games and they're out of the playoff spot. I think Tyson Foerster plays anyway.
Okay.
And the rationale behind that is this. If he doesn't play again this year, and I'll defer to you on this too, Bundy, because you've experienced, maybe not personally this way, but guys who've been in this situation. If he doesn't play the rest of this year, he goes into the offseason and he's still kind of in rehab mode.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And it's not training for the start of the new season. It's more...
You're still in recovery from the past injury.
I'm getting back from the past injury.
Yeah.
If you can play in games this year, meaningful or not, you go into the offseason
with a fresh slate to the new season.
With a different mindset,
yeah,
right?
I agree.
And so, that's why, to me, I think he's going to play. And if it just so happens that the games matter, then the games matter.
Right.
I just think that that's what it is.
That'd be great to see him back. I mean, 10 goals in 21 games before the injury. That's the pace for
40.
For close to 40. Yeah, 30, 38, 37 goals. So,
yeah. Now, the interesting thing would be is if he does come back and the team is still in playoff contention, what does your lineup look like?
Well, that was what I was going to get to. So Grundstrom stayed in last night.
Yes.
A lot of people thought that Bump was going to stay in. Grundstrom would be the one to come.
I think that had to do with the physical nature of the game. I think Bump's going to get back in. I wouldn't be surprised if Bump plays Thursday.
And he plays on a line with?
Who comes out for him?
Well, Grundstrom could potentially come out.
Grundstrom scored last game, though.
Yeah, I
Played
know.
pretty well.
I know. It's possible. Maybe, Barkey also scored. That would be the other guy that if you're going to say there's going to be a little bit of a... Tocchet said on the record, he said it was you're going to be a little bit of a rotation.
Yeah.
So, I got to imagine that those are the 3 guys you're thinking. The fourth line has been what the fourth line needs to be.
Yeah, they've been
So
good.
you don't want to touch that. I know people say just get half the way out of it. I get it. I understand he's not going to score, but what the fourth line has done when they're out there has been productive.
Yeah.
Right? It's been good for the way that the team plays. So it's got to be somebody in the top 9. And so the only people that you're considering in that rotation, I believe, are Grunstrom, Bump, and Barkey. But
Barkey's played
well.
himself.
Now, the one thing I could say about Barkey is he's a little banged up. He's playing through some stuff.
I know one thing.
Yeah.
If John Tortorella were still here, it would be Couturier.
Couturier would be out.
100%.
Yeah. Absolutely. Torts, by the way, did you see him in a suit?
Yeah, I saw that.
He wore a suit.
Yeah, he wore a suit for the
suave.
first game. Yeah,
He looked suave.
Yeah.
Did you see when he was wearing the tracksuit to the press conference, though? I think it was his first press conference. He had like the chill grandpa kind of look with the tracksuit.
Yeah.
Now, you know what? Listen, we had our run in with young Torts. Wish him well. You know, I wish him a lot more well now that he's not here. But you know,
I still can't believe they hired him.
I'm shocked.
I'm
by
not.
it,
I don't know why that's surprising to you.
Shocked.
If they knew they were going to move on from Cassidy in the offseason,
They should have done it before. If you wanted to bring in Torts at the Olympic break, I understand.
I could agree with that to some
I
extent.
understand because then you have time to institute whatever system or whatever changes you want to put in.
Maybe
There's 8 games to go in a condensed season. There's no practice time.
Maybe they thought it was salvageable. I mean,
When is he practicing with them? Like, there's just no time. I don't see it.
get the rope ready.
And I understand because that division is bad, right? I mean, whoever wins that, it doesn't matter. Like, somebody coming out of that division is going to reach the conference final and get their doors blown off by whoever survives the Colorado, Dallas, Minnesota path, right? But so I guess you look at it and go, well, if we could get through those 2 series, you never know, right? I mean, maybe that's the rationale. But it doesn't make a lot of sense that it's Tortorella. You should have done it in February. I don't know. Doesn't make any sense. But
I think he's going to – what do we say about the new coach, right? The new coach bump, right? That boost. If it happened – the one thing that I do find kind of shocking, though, in all of it, even in the case of Torts of like why he would take the job, he historically has had a lot of really good netminders.
Yeah.
And when he's found a lot of success, it's been with a very good netminder. Their goalie situation sucks. I mean, it's bad.
Vegas is rough. Yeah, it's not very good.
Horrific. So if he can somehow figure a way to turn that one around, then more power to him. Back to the Flyers, because that's what people are here for.
Yeah. So, I mean,
if we look at – because I wanted to take a look at where they're at now with a few minutes left, unless you had something else you wanted to get to.
No, the only thing I was just going to finish up on Barkey, like, he's been playing a little banged up and played really – his last, 3 or 4 games, Bundy, been really good.
He gets to the net with such precision, and he's not afraid to stay there.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive for a little guy like that, and he's a little guy that gets to the front of the net with that determination. That he does.
I know that impresses the coaching staff.
Of course it does, yeah.
Right?
Because he's all heart. It takes a lot of courage to do what he does. Get to the front of the net, pay the price, but he scores goals, and he understands that.
Yeah. So, that's why I say, I mean, he's in that mix with the Bump and Grunstrom conversation. But he's playing so well that maybe he's not. Maybe he's the third guy that you would take out.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's all I had to say about that.
All right, so I want to take a look here before we wrap up. Let's do that so that people can see it a little bit better. Here's where things are at right now, entering the evening of Wednesday, April 1st. So as things currently stand, your team, your town, your Philadelphia Flyers, 74 games played, 86 total points. That is the same exact record in points, right, as Detroit and Ottawa, both of whom are ahead of the Flyers. As you can see, the Flyers have the fewest regulation wins, only 23. They lose virtually every tiebreaker, so they've got to finish with more points. They are 2 points behind Columbus, who have played 1 additional game. And then I look more to the Islanders. I think that if you are going to try to make the playoffs and have a shot of winning a first-round series or making it long, you want to get to that third spot. They are 3 points behind the Islanders, and they have 2 games in hand. If everything were to play out perfectly, right, you're in over the Islanders by a single point. It's a good thing that they have a game coming up against the Islanders in the not-too-distant future.
Friday night. It's the biggest game of the year.
By far.
And it's not. There won't
the
be
The Islanders do not play tomorrow night either.
No.
So they'll be rested.
They'll be rested, yeah.
Yeah.
I would argue that this 2-game stretch is the most important stretch for a Flyers team in at least 5 seasons. At least. This is the make or break. Like, if you've been waiting to see one way or the other, are they going to make it or are they not? If you pick up 2 wins, preferably in regulation against Detroit and the Islanders on back-to-back nights, well, then we're cooking. Then then you're cooking with gas.
You're cooking if you get 4 points.
At that point, you are 100% cooking with 6 games to go. And at that point, they would be in a playoff spot. And then you really do control your destiny. This entire time, over the last 5-6 games, when it looked like an outside chance, but maybe, it's like you need a lot of help. You have 2 games coming up against Detroit.
They got the help they needed last night.
They did.
They did. That was the game they needed last night. That's why that 2 points still makes me sour today.
Yeah.
But it is crazy, guys. Like, this whole run right now feels so different to me than the fake playoff run with Torts. It feels entirely different.
It is entirely different.
I think a lot of it, one, you didn't have the move like Torts benching Couturier and all the negativity around it. But you're looking at the guys who are helping to contribute to this team, and you're thinking about, like, if a Barkey, if a Martone, those guys especially can help and have an impact.
Yeah.
It's great for the development of those players.
I just want to say one thing because Robert Behrman puts this out. He says, still need help on other teams' misfortunes, though. I'm not 100% sure that's the case. I'm pretty sure that if the Flyers were to, let's just say, win out, not to say that that's going to happen, but I'm just saying, like, if they were to win out, right? They have 8 games left. That's 16 points.
They make it.
It's 102.
No, they're in.
They're in.
Yeah.
Right? You no longer need, they've got to a point where you no longer need another team's help. But they're probably not going to win 8 straight games to end the season. So you will need somebody at some point to maybe help you out a little bit. But not as much as you thought initially.
I would argue you cannot afford a regulation loss. And if you do, it's 1. That's all you can have the rest of the way.
Yeah, maybe 2. Maybe
I don't know
2.
about 2. I think it's going to be way too. And it also depends who the regulation loss is against.
If
You cannot under any circumstances.
If you get 12 points, you get to 98.
Yeah, but you cannot under
that gets you in too.
But under no circumstances can you drop Detroit or the Islanders in regulation.
Detroit, you could, not the Islanders. Detroit, you
know.
could because you play them again,
Yeah,
right? And you can give it back to them,
you could.
right? Because you get right back,
In
right?
theory.
So Detroit, you technically could. The Islanders, you cannot. That's the one you have to win.
The Flyers should beat Detroit tomorrow night. Detroit's going in a real bad way.
Yeah.
And the Flyers, at home, they want to use the crowd energy at home tomorrow night, but that should be a win.
Yeah,
it should be.
I'm with you.
If you want to look at teams over the last 10 games, the Islanders are 500 at 5-5-0. Columbus 5-4-1. Simplify it 5-5. They've played 500 hockey. You look at Ottawa 6-3-1. All right, good on them. Detroit 3-6-1 in their last 10.
Yeah.
Flyers 7-2-1. Prior to that loss, they were 8-1-1. I mean, they're heading in the right direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We'll see what happens, guys. I mean, it is exciting to actually have this kind of stuff to talk about. And we'll be talking all about it tomorrow night down at Xfinity Mobile Arena ahead of Flyers Red Wings for the Press Row Show. Make sure you join us. Whether you're in person, you come up to the balcony, or you join us on the stream, or you listen back after the fact in the podcast feed. It's going to be a lot of fun, guys. Looking forward to doing that with you.
100%. 100%. And then thanks to everybody here at Chickie's and Pete's in Marlton, which I will say this. If they make the playoffs, I'm going to request.
We have it here?
We have it here.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Of course, it's great for you. It's
great for me. Yeah, but it's
2 minutes away.
my only time I've been here this year. I had to miss the last one.
I know you did. I know. I know you had to miss last
It's a wonderful spot.
Went to my daughter's game.
Yeah. But so, yeah, I will request that we do that here.
We'd also have to do one, I think, in South Philly for a home game.
Oh, that'd be great.
I think we'd have to.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Throw some bows. So,
Little fly.
all right, guys. All right, guys. Well, there goes that cheese. Don't get near my cheese. It wasn't near your cheese. You notice that? What does that tell you?
Yeah.
All right, anyway, big thank you to everybody who tuned in live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Big thank you to everybody here at Chickies and Pete's.
Thanks to intern Andrew. Thanks to Chris Ermer, our engineer.
Like the video, share the video, subscribe, and subscribe on your favorite podcast app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcasts. We'll talk to each and every one of you Thursday night on the Press Row Show. Have a great night, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to Snow the Goalie. Talk to each and every one of you